on with it much faster than that. Some will need a little bit more. I'm sure that this is not a problem for you as you are on the software positions and you are used to hackathon and other tournaments. So basically, to start, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about who's ESW Capital and who we are as Crossover. So ESW Capital is a private equity fund that's located in Austin, Texas, and it is the fastest growing private fund in the world. What the fund does is that they buy, they strengthen, and they grow the companies that are bought. So ESW does not have the idea of buying, strengthening companies, and then selling them. They keep the companies and run them forever. As you might already know, Crossover is part of this group. And what we do is that we work as the HR department for a number of companies. As I mentioned, ESW will buy companies, strengthen them, and keep them forever. So you might not have heard of ESW Capital as it is not a marketed brand, but you might have heard of some of the companies that belong to the group, such as Trilogy, Dev Factory, Aurea, Ignite, GFI Software, Versata, among others. So as I mentioned, the idea behind ESW is to buy companies, strengthen them, and keep them forever. So right now in our portfolio, we have over 60 companies, over 100 products. In this moment, we have around 72 companies, but we do have a budget of $500 million for acquisitions in the year of 2018. So this makes it so there are 50 companies to be bought in the year of 2018. That's since January of this year. So basically, if you think that there are 52 weeks in a year, this makes it so we have been acquiring one new company per week in the year of 2018. So this is why we have constant demand for all of our positions, and we have been hiring around a little bit over 150 people per week. Also, just so you know, here are some of the clients that we have as ESW Capital that you probably have heard of, among others. So some of them are British Airways, Unilever, T-Mobile, Google, NASA, Delta, and a number of others, such as Disneyland and Intel, etc. So just so you know, as well, for the year of 2019, that budget of $500 million, it increases to $1 billion for new acquisitions for the entire next year. So for you to understand a little bit more about Crossover, we are an Austin, Texas-based HR and technology company. We have started our operations in the year of 2014, and for the reasons I just mentioned, we have been skyrocketing in growth. We have the idea that we're looking for the 1% global talent, as all of our positions are 100% remote, that offer 100% of flexibility, which I'm going to go into in the next slide. But we have been skyrocketing in growth for these positions, and because we have been doing an amazing job in finding the best talent, in hiring and keeping the best talent. Right now, we have over 4,500 full-time, long-term partners around the world in more than 135 countries. So all of our positions at Crossover are full-time, long-term, and we do not offer part-time positions. We do not offer freelance opportunities or temporary contracts. You come and you're hired and you work at Crossover. This is part of your career. We understand that the best talent is looking for long-term opportunities, and we believe in long-term relationships. So you're going to be start working with us, and it's expected to be working hours a week. So this is a full-time, long-term position, all of our positions that you are applying for today. So we have been working like a clock as well, because we have so many people spread all around the world, to the point that whenever it is nighttime in a certain region of the world, it is already daytime in another positions in another area of the world. So this makes it so the company simply does not stop, because we do not sleep. For you to understand Crossover a little bit better as well, it's important for me to tell you a little bit about the mind behind Crossover. And the mind behind Crossover is Andy Treba, our CEO, that you probably most likely have heard of. Andy Treba was in the White House for 2 years in the previous administration as an advisor. He also worked for Intel for 14 years. As you can see, he's very young. He was the youngest director at Intel ever. He is an expert at the future of employment and engineering talent. That's what he was doing both at Intel and at the White House, as also at Intel as a director of strategy. So basically, from his experience, what Andy Treba learned was that high skill jobs are no longer location dependent, as every high skill job goes to the cloud. So from his experience, he decided to found Crossover, and he's also the creator of the cloud wages concept that I'm going to talk to you in a little bit. So basically, what he came to the conclusion from his experience is that because every high skill job goes to the cloud, location has become less and less important. So basically, at Crossover, we are able to find the best people and the best talent because our positions are not location based. So for example, as I mentioned, we are headquartered in Austin, Texas. If we were to build the best teams of solution integration architect, for example, and we were to look for people in the Austin area, of course, there are excellent professionals in the Austin area, but we would have a hard time as we would be looking for people who would be willing to drive from home to the office and back, or move to the area to take this job. And what we do is that because location is, our positions are not location dependent, we are able to find the very best people from all around the world and have them come and join our teams. Just so you know, for reference, here are some of the companies that are also owned by Andy Treba. Some of them are DNN Corporation, Think3, which is $1 billion fund for acquisition as well, similar to ESW, Engine Yard, Kayako, Ride Austin, which is Uber-like system, but it's a nonprofit organization, and Ride Austin. These are some of the companies that he owns. About the cloud wages concept, what we believe in Crossover is that, well, the compensation for every one of our positions is available in our job boards in our website. So you know exactly the compensation that you're going to have per year. This compensation is paid in US dollars, and the cloud, I'm going to go into that in a little bit as well. And we believe that this is enabling the best to earn a cloud wage. And what it is that, for example, why would a chief software architect in New York, for example, make more money than a chief software architect in Rio de Janeiro, for example? If you're doing the exact same job, you should be paid the exact same thing. So Andy Treba also believes that the wages go to the cloud as well. So what we do in Crossover is that you're going to be paid weekly in US dollars for the position, the compensation for your role, independently of where you are located. It doesn't matter if you are in India, in Pakistan, in Rio, in Colombia, in Canada, in France, in Spain. That's how much you're going to make, and you're going to be paid weekly in US dollars. So a lot of people ask us, how do you do it, right? You have so many people around the world in over 135 countries. And how do you make it work? And how do you know people are working, right? How do you know they're not using their time to study or to research or on social media? So basically, to make sure that the company works, we have 3 pillars that I like to call them the 3 Ps. The very first one is the people. We make sure that we find and we hire the best people, the best of the best, the top 1% talent. And we just make sure that we build the best teams. And we have been very, very successful in finding this talent. The second P is the playbooks. So at Crossover, we have playbooks for every single process there is within the company. So this is also to make sure that our processes are unified and that it doesn't matter if your manager lives in South Africa or if your manager lives in, I don't know, in Germany. We are all following the same processes. This also helps us to improve because every time that a process is improved, we update our playbooks. And the third P is the productivity. So basically, the way that we know if people are working or if they're using their time to study, to research, to do whatever they feel like, is that whenever you're using your computer for personal purposes, this is your personal time in your computer. It's not part of your job. Whenever you start working, we have a tool that's called WorkSmart that was built specifically for Crossover. And what you do is that you literally push play on WorkSmart. And this is your way of telling the company that you have started your working hours. Once again, This is a full-time, long-term position, all of our positions, and we expect you to work 40 hours per week. You might divide those hours as you wish. You may divide them into blocks during the day or 4 days of 10 hours. Of course, we always ask our partners to make sure that they're aligned with their manager and their team, but you are the one to divide your hours as you wish. And that's not only the only thing that WorkSmart does. It always also shows you whenever you're more focused, whenever your activity is higher. So you may divide your hours that way as well. And it also shows if you are managing a team, if your team is aligned, if there's a misalignment. It helps you with your metrics, since every position is metrics based. And it shows you if you're not following and not going through whatever you should be doing. So it makes it so you have the chance to always keep an eye on your own work and development and make sure that you are able to improve. So this is about payment. This is a very common question. How's payment? How do you go about doing that? So at Crossover, we had to find a very common platform that would be able to pay our partners in an easy, fast, simple way. And this way is through our partner, Payoneer. So we have been using Payoneer for years now, and it's an excellent platform. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's very similar to PayPal, but in my opinion, much better. The platform, the interface is so much better and simple to use. So you're going to be paid weekly in US dollars. And what you do is that you have two options. Once you receive that payment, you might withdraw on demand. So just go to an ATM machine with your card that is connected to your account and take the money out, or you may make a transfer to your personal bank. So this is up to you. And the money that you receive is not going to be taxed. And of course, it is required of you that you pay your taxes in your country of residency. Once again, because we have people hired in over 135 countries, we do not have a way of right now telling you exactly how you would go about doing that. What we recommend is in the moment of an offer for you to speak to an accountant to ask and to know exactly how you'd go about doing that in your country of residency. Just for reference as well, on the bottom, there are some of the companies that also use Payoneer as their payment system. So some of them are Amazon, Airbnb, Getty Images that I'm sure that you have heard of. So there's something new about the positions, about some of the positions that we're testing for today, which is the Crossover Bootcamp programs. So basically, for a few of our positions that you'd be applying for today, the ones that are listed on screen, a bootcamp program will be required as part of the selective process. So for all these positions that you can see on screen, the candidates are invited to take part of a training program that's led by our best-in-class teams. This is a 4-week boot camp, and you're going to be paid full-time for all these 4 weeks. In the first week, you're going to learn about the Crossover culture, and the second week about products. There's going to be an introduction about products and etc. On week 3, it's going to be a product-specific week. On the week 4, it's a hands-on lab, and the next step from that is a final evaluation where we're going to learn if you get the job or not. Even though the candidates who do not get the job, who are selected for the boot camp but might not get the job, you're still going to be paid in full for an entire month for the 40 hours that are going to be worked. Once the bootcamp tests are complete, then we're going to be able to evaluate you, and this is part of the selective process, as I have mentioned. So please take a look and see if the position that you are applying for today requires a bootcamp program as well. So basically, now I'm going to go through the entire testing process in detail. And then I'm going to show you the interface and the step-by-step of the process. So once again, today we're going to have this 30-minute introduction that I'm going to explain to you the process very quickly. The entire testing should take around 6 hours. Once again, that's just an average. Many candidates will complete testing much quicker than that. Some might need a little bit longer. The deadline for submission is tomorrow at 11 p.m. UTC. What we do at Crossover is that we offer a very extended deadline, only because we do not want to miss a brilliant candidate in case the candidate, I don't know, there's a power outage in his area, there's a problem with the internet connection, etc., and the candidate is unable to deliver their testings today. But that's the only reason we offer such an extended deadline. There's no world where you'll need 48 hours to complete this testing. So what we expect from candidates is that you submit your application today by the end of the day. Most candidates, what they'll do is that they will start testing right now, take the testing while we're here. I'm going to be here with you for 3 hours and to provide you with technical support in case you have any technical issues. So this is what most candidates do. And we also expect you certainly to complete and submit your application once you have started it, as it shows us your professionalism. So basically the test is divided in 5 different sections. The first one, you're going to create a basic profile. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the entire step-by-step. So the first part of the testing process, you'll answer the basic questions. That should take no longer than 3 minutes. There is an English assessment. For the English assessment, it is a voice recording, so please make sure that you have a built-in microphone that you can use in your computer. We have the entire, do not worry, everything is instructed on your page, and we're going to give you a number of suggestions on how to make this, to provide us with this voice recording. If you would prefer, you may use your phone or any other device that you'd like, but we recommend you just use your laptop since it's so much simpler. There are the SME questions. Depending on the position that you're applying for today, once again, we're here for 20. It's a combined tournament. We're here for 23 different positions. So depending on the position that you are applying for, it might take anything between 30 minutes and 3 hours. And then there is the free response section, which once again, depending on the position that you are applying for, it might take anything between 1 hour and 3 hours and 30 minutes. As part of the free response, which is also called the written evaluation section, there is the CCAT test, which is a cognitive test. So for all of the other sections, they are not timed. You might take as long as you need to complete those sections, except for the CCAT. The CCAT section is the very last one of the written evaluation. Once again, do not worry. You're going to be, if you just follow the instructions, you'll be fine. This section takes 15 minutes. It is the only section that is timed. So we have 15 minutes to answer 50 questions. So make sure that you are quick. And then once you are done, this is the last step. We always ask you to make sure to submit your application correctly. So about the selective process, for those of you who do not require a bootcamp program, you'll fill in your basic profile, complete and submit your application today. Then according to your performance, of course, you join the marketplace. That's when your profile is available to a number of hiring managers to schedule an interview. And from there, you go to the interview process. And then there's an offer. That's unless your position requires the bootcamp. So then once you submit your application, once you do well, you're going to go and join the bootcamp. Once you're done with the bootcamp training program and you get paid for it, then that's when you're going to proceed to the offer. So I'm going to go through a few frequently asked questions, and then I'm going to show you the step-by-step of the process. So few frequently asked questions. First one, how do I start? So once again, I'm going to finish the frequently asked questions. I'm going to show you this step-by-step of the process, and then I'm going to provide you with a link to testing in the chat section. Once again, chat section is disabled. You're not going to be needing it today at all. All that you need to do is to click the link that I'm going to provide to you in the chat section. You're not going to be able to write. There's no need for you to write or use the chat section. It is disabled for anyone to use, not disabled for me, so do not worry. You're going to get the link in about 2 minutes after this presentation is done. So second question is, I get a message that says this email address is already in use. So this means that you have probably an open, active application with us, and our system will only accept one application per candidate at a time. So if you have previously applied with us and you are waiting for the results, it is necessary that you first receive your results in order to proceed to apply for another role. If you have started an application and never finished it, and then you get this message, what you're going to do is that I'm also going to provide you with a link of a video that says how to cancel any previous applications. So what you do is that you access your previous application and follow this step-by-step that's on the video, so you can cancel the previous application and start the new application with us today. That's also going to be provided to you in the chat section. Third question is, can I proceed to other tasks before the English assessment? The answer is no. You must complete all assessments in the exact order they are given. And this is because if you skip the English assessment or any other assessment, the assessment is going to be marked as incomplete and there's going to be no way for you to go back to it. So please keep this in mind, that if you skip English assessment or any of the assessments, you're not going to be able to go back to complete them. For candidates who might not have a resume today for some reason, it will be necessary that you upload your resume as the very first step to start your application. So if you do not have a resume today, what you might do, might be a solution for you, is that you go to your LinkedIn profile and export it as a PDF file. So then what you do is that you just upload the PDF version of your LinkedIn profile. Fourth question is, I currently have a contract with Crossover. Can I still apply? Well, yes. If you have an active contract with Crossover, you are recommended to notify your current manager of your intention to apply to this or any other position. And as a courtesy, we'll also let your manager know in case of a hire. Last question? No, second to last. May I apply for a different position than the one I have registered for? The answer is no. You must apply for the position that you have registered for. And if you feel like you would be a better fit for a different role that is offered here, because this is a combined tournament, all you need to do is to inform the hiring manager of your interest in another position or another language during your interview. So last question is, may I apply using a different email address? The answer is no. You must apply using the same email address that you used when you registered for this event. This is the same email address that you have been receiving communication with us, from Crossover, and the same email address that you use today to join the meeting. So I'm going to ask you just for a moment as I'm going to show you and walk you through the entire step-by-step of the process. I'm going to close the video just for 1 second. Okay. So, would you be so kind to confirm that you can see the screen? Yes, okay, thank you very much. All right, so thank you so much. I see that you can see the screen. So basically, I'm going to provide you with linked testing, and the link will lead you to a website that looks just like this. It's the same website. So you're going to have all these options on the top. You have home, pre-tournament, checklists, links, step-by-step guide, and more. So basically what you do is you click on links. Well, you're going to go to the chat section. You're going to click the link that I'm going to provide you. It's going to lead you to this page. So what you do is that you go to links, and in the links you'll find the link to the position that you are applying for. Identify the position that you are applying for today, and make sure that you start your application exactly for the position that you have registered for. So basically, here are all the positions that we have combined today. There are 23 different roles. So what you do is that you click this link right here that's provided to you, and you follow the steps given on the step-by-step guide. I guess my internet's a bit slow. So basically, I'm going to walk you through all of these steps. So basically, this is just an example. It depends on the position that you are applying for. Once you click the link of the position that you are applying for, What you're going to do is that you're going to look for this box right here. This is the Apply Now box. You're going to add your name, email, password, upload your resume, and click Apply Now as it is shown on the red circle. From there, you're going to get an email to verify your email address. Please make sure that you only push Apply Now once and that you wait for the email. You don't want to cause you don't want to make it so you block that option at all. So you go back to your email, you verify that email, and once you verify your email, you go to the step 4. This is the page that says here's what to expect, and then you're going to click the arrow to see what's next. Once you click the arrow to see what's next, you're going to come up to this page that says it's going to show you a roadmap. What you do is click Start the Challenge. From there, you're going to come to this page, where you're going to be building your basic profile. So you add your information, making sure your information is correct, and click Continue. From there, you're going to receive the next page. It's going to be, you're going to receive login information. So what you do is that you copy the login information that was given to you and click Go to Test. Once you click Go to Test, you're going to come to the technical screen. Before you hit this step, for you to enter the technical screen, it's going to be important that you paste the information, the login information that was provided to you. You will enter the technical screen and you answer basic steps, basic questions, English assessment, and subject matter questions. Once you are done with this section, you're going to get a message that says, thank you for completing the technical screen. Please go back to app.crossover.com to complete the written assessment. So you follow the instructions given on screen and answer the written evaluation. Once you, and then you come to this page, you click Continue, you answer all the questions, make sure that to take the CCAT test, follow the instructions given on screen, and once you are done, make sure to click Submit All. Because we are providing you with this step-by-step guide, we will not be answering any questions that are related to next steps of the process, only technical issues if there are any. So please make sure that if you have any types of difficulties, that you will be, that you refer to the guide. Here are some recommendations for success. Could you please confirm once again that you can see it well, the slide? Yes, thank you. Once again, it is not possible to apply for more than one position because, as I mentioned, at Crossover, our system will only accept one active application at a time, and because you must apply for the position that you have registered for. So if you have registered, I don't know, for JavaScript, that's the position that you need, the language that you should be applying for. A few recommendations for success are please prefer Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox as a browser. We do support Safari. We just prefer that you use these browsers. Please make sure to cancel any previous applications in case you receive a message that says this email is already in use. Apply for the position that you have registered for. Use the exact same email address you used upon registration. If you are using a mobile device, please switch to a computer that includes iPads. So if you have joined us through a mobile, or iPad, please switch to a computer. Make sure to confirm the submission of your application prior to leaving the room. So for those of you, if you wish, if you have questions, if you are unsure if your application has been submitted, please use the Q&A session. I'm not talking about each section of the process. I'm talking about the entire final submission. Submit your application today. And if you think this position is not for you, take the test, get assessed, move to the marketplace, and email me for other opportunities. In case you're facing any technical issues, use the Q&A session. Make sure to let me know your email address. Be patient to receive an answer. We have quite a number of candidates today because we're here for 23 positions. And so next thing is I'm going to leave also this step-by-step slide on screen for you throughout the entire event. So if you have any questions, please refer to the step-by-step guide and to this slide. I'm going to provide you with a link to testing in exact 2 minutes. It really does take me 2 minutes to provide you with the link to you in the chat section, not the Q&A, the chat section. So please be patient. If you do not see it in the chat section, it's because 2 minutes have not gone by. So I'm going to be here with you for 3 hours. So in case you need any technical assistance, please let me know what technical issues you are having. And remember that for the application, for the next steps, etc., please refer to the guide. And please, before you leave the room, make sure to go back to your question that you left on the Q&A session because it's going to be answered. So thank you very much for joining us today. You're not going to be seeing me. You're not going to be hearing me. I'm going to be in the Q&A session providing you with assistance. So thank you very much for taking a few hours of your Saturday. I hope you enjoyed this morning. And I'm going to provide you with the link to testing. Thank you so much for joining. Good luck. I wish you the best of success. Keep in mind that you are here. We see you as potential hires. We want to hire you. We have high demand for this position, so do your best. And I wish you success.
Right.
Hi everyone. I see that lots of you are getting an error on the link. So please hold on to 1 minute. I'm going to provide you with the link separately for each position, and that's going to take another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Balancing access point chart. What is the technical writing? Where are the things? Good. Access to a link provided in the chat, please. With information. Okay, with information. Chef. Oh, this is something wild.
Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Our system has gone down, and it's gonna be. It's gonna take our support team around 5 to 7 minutes to get it fixed. As I mentioned previously, the presentation is over, so I'm going to be helping you in the Q&A session only. You're not going to be hearing me or seeing me. At the moment, we have extreme, unusual, and high volume of messages in the Q&A session. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. So I'm going to ask you to please patiently wait between 5 to 7 minutes until our support team fixes it. Meanwhile, I'm going to be answering your questions in the Q&A session. If you believe it's something that you might figure out on your own, maybe shutting the browser window, clearing cookies, etc., please do so. As I'd like to provide assistance to the candidates that they're having technical issues. Thank you.
With compile release note, the ability to
Only while trying to access the link to a technical website. Apply to technical writing. Right. Per second. Computer skills. On. Word. Learning services. Application. Interesting. For bonuses.